for stand-up comedy.
Okay, I'll be lying if I said I'm not nervous about this. Because those who know how this costume works, the bottom bit is held up by a bit of string. That's what you thought I was nervous of the actor. Okay, I overheard somebody speaking in the morning that they wished that they were part of Bollywood. And looking at the turnout here and all the colorful people out here, this beats Bollywood. So your wish is granted, you are in Bollywood, right? And one day my boss called me and he says, I know find you at your desk. And I had to remind him that good employees are hard to find. New Zealand is a melting pot of cultures, and I went to this Japanese restaurant one day, and there was an Indian waitress there. Her name was Sushila. Diwali is a celebration of good over evil. So, one of the traditions of Diwali, which you saw in the video also, is that of Rangoli. So, Rangoli is where you have these colorful decorations outside your door, and it signifies like it welcomes good into your house and wards off the evil spirits. Now, this year, Diwali and Halloween were also on the same day, and my neighbor who celebrates Halloween came around. With his two kids, Beetlejuice and Harley Quinn. And he's like, hey mate, did you spill some color on your driveway? And I have to explain to him like, what Rangoli is and how it wards off the evil spirits. And his kid piped up that, in Halloween, we ward off the evil spirits with costumes and jack-o'-lanterns, and you do it with color. So that's one of the ways of interpreting Diwaloween, as they call it now. In Diwali, another tradition is, of course, distributing sweets to your friends and colleagues. I used to do that when I came to New Zealand. I used to bring around the boxes of sweets for my colleagues. But with the cost of living now, I just offer my sweets for snack. I just let people just sponsor the sweets. Now, one of the sweets in Diwali is Son Papdi. And this Son Papdi is actually the cryptocurrency of Diwali in India. So let me explain to you how the distributed system of Son Papdi works. So every day, like on the Diwali day in the morning, you get your friends and relatives who come over. They bring over boxes of Son Papdi. And once you have collected 20 boxes of Son Papdi at your house, you collect all of them, get into the car, and distribute Son Papdi all over the city. By the end of the day, magically, every house has one box of Son Papdi in their house. Now, after coming to New Zealand a few years back, the first thing I learned was the most common Kiwi greeting. What's the common Kiwi greeting? No, it's not Kia ora. The most common Kiwi greeting is actually the flick of the chin and a raised eyebrow. So that's how Kiwis commonly greet each other. Like that. So, Kia ora is, of course, a common greeting, and Kia ora is also like very similar to a Hindi phrase, which is Kya ho raha hai? Okay? And Kya ho raha hai means what's up, what's happening. So, you may think you're speaking English or Maori, but you're actually speaking Hindi. Now, this being Diwali week, so we can learn one sentence of Hindi maybe. So, those who don't know Hindi, of course. So, let's try repeating one phrase in Hindi. So, repeat after me. There was a cold day. There was a cold day. Right? Okay. Speak it fast enough, and it actually means in Hindi, open the door. There was a cold day. Now, with the way my brain works, you can imagine what happened when I gave my IELTS exam. So, and it's funny, every year, if you look at who wins the spelling bee, it's either an Indian or a Chinese boy or kid who goes and wins the spelling bee. And I mentioned this to the lady at the ITS center, it's funny you testing my English, and she said, hey, look, there's a difference between knowing the spelling of things and knowing the meaning of things. So I found the challenge. I said, okay, you tell me, what's the meaning of indictus? And she's completely confused. Like, what kind of a word is that? There's no such word in English. And you just made up something to confuse me. And I said, no, it's an actual word. So she used the spelling bee trick and says, okay, use it in a sentence. So I said, if we are guilty, the judge will indict us. And she said, that's indictus. That's not the correct pronunciation. Now I know I was caught. Okay. So now I said, that's how it sounds in my accent. Now, the ITS of course does not prepare you for the Kiwi slang, right? So, yeah, na is one of them. What is yeah, na? Are you saying yes? Are you saying no? Especially when you're going and you're trying to get the customer to sign a contract and they go, yeah, na. It's like, yes, I'm bringing the ropes up. No, I'm bringing them crashing down. So, another one is the sweet ass. So I went shopping one day. Well, yeah, I mean, my American friend said it's either a compliment or very offensive. But when I went shopping one day, I was buying some sports equipment, and they rang up my bill and said, sweet ass. And I was like, did I buy some golf balls or gloves? No, I don't know. The other one is bring a plate. Now, in India, when you are told to bring a plate, or your relative tells you to bring plates, because there are 20 cousins coming over and there are not enough plates in the house. So you bring a plate. And for my Kiwi friend, when he told me to bring a plate, I actually took along 4 plates and 4 bowls. And they expected me to bring food also. Now, the other thing is street names. Street names in Auckland are very fun. There are a few about possibly which I want to mention here. But imagine if James Bond was living in Auckland, which street would he be living in?
Bond Street.
Not Bond Street, he's a spy after all. He's not going to put his name down on the street. Bond would actually be living in a street called Tenterden Avenue. It's in Mount Eden. And every time I pass the street, the music of the James Bond movie keeps playing in my mind. Tenterden, 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 and hence Tenterden Avenue. So once James Bond comes back to his home in Tenterden Avenue, and he sees that there are 3 ants lying dead on his doorstep. Now, what do you think James Bond would be thinking at that time? What clue would it give to James Bond? After looking at those 3 dead ants, James Bond went, da-dang, da-dang, da-dang. Okay, enough bad jokes. Now, the next thing you do, of course, in New Zealand is you buy a house. I bought a house, but I found out that my neighbor was a stalker. I was watching her through the binoculars one day and she saw her googling my name. Alright, thank you, that's my time.